Good morning. I am saying my story because I am a victim and I am somebody that fell through the cracks, and the corruption and the use of beauty as a weapon has been horrific in my case. This is me 1 year ago. Can you see the colour on my face? Oh, it's not. Oh, you can't really tell in this light. It's illuminating the Okay, so in this photo, I look a hell of a lot more pinky colour. I'm very, very white, like my immunity's down. For years, I knew I was having thyroid issues, and they would never coming up in my reports. I've done a lot of holistic healing and nutritional healing, and it runs in my customs of my family. A lot of these deep-seated ancestral roots is what I've been using in my own knowledge of my daily habits. I'm not normal for about since 2024, but usually I've got supplements that have been detoxing my system. I believe in a hate crime. They destroyed my stomach so that I would not get the credit for doing this work to do with supplements. I believe they brutalized my vagina and anus and sexually violently tortured me because I believed in Jesus, and I was like a saint, but what am I saying? I'm not like your poster girl of being a Christian. I've got a sense of humor, and but I genuinely care about people, and I genuinely went out of my way to help people and listen to them. I wasn't paid all the time, but my life was gearing towards being paid for this. And I mean, sue me for wanting to have money, to have nice things, to have peace at home, these sort of things. And instead, I've got this hierarchy of people that came from less, who wanted to beat me down as a privileged woman to be known as successful and amazing, but they've stolen some things that meant a lot, and how they did it was doing a lot of terrorism, taking photos of me that I'm a fat pig and very ugly, and had me shamed all through society. And it's just an injustice after injustice. I want to show you something where I'm being discriminated, because last year I was working on all this artwork and they just destroyed my life. And also the year before, I was working on all of this healthcare. They've destroyed it all. They've destroyed everything that I needed. These people were like, this is Bloody Mary, and this is the penguin that took over the country. You see this guy says, they're trying to make it I was a butler, but they've hidden all of this work that I did. So this is me 2 years ago. See how skinny I am? Yeah. So I believed I had cancer, and I did all this research to do with cancer and holistic healing. And the finding I found was sulfurine and, is that how you say it? And garlic are very, very potent for killing off bad cells. And in this case, I got healthy again, and they just injected me with all these chemicals in my stomach to make me cancerous, which is, I think it should be done as a homicide. It should be open as a cold case. And because there's so much injustice. So I went to go and get all this health insurance. Nobody did diagnostics on me because I was very, very concerned I had something to do with leukemia or cancer. And I've got photos of me that made me of why I believe these things, and because I was getting very tired all the time, really exhausted. And recently I just had a test, and it says that I've got chemicals, hormones of pregnancy, and that I complained about rape, and I said I think my old flatmate might have raped me and done something bad to me in some sort of like dark cult. And I said my vagina, it's mutilated. And she just said, it looks like you've had a baby. And I said, I haven't. I'm blacklisted. That says 21 men from European Union. So there's a lot of racism in the new governments that have taken and reshuffled everything. I'll tell you, there is gods around me. I knew. See that? How it looks like a little mermaid on the ground? I knew that the mob were killing me on the ground, and that they think that I'm a no one. Like, they just look at me and think, you're a piece of shit, you don't deserve to be a divine feminine, you don't deserve love. But how come the first time they killed me, an angel appeared, and the second time they've killed me, this mermaid has appeared on the ground? I mean, this supernatural stuff's not to be played with. I'm not, I don't play with this stuff. Like, I got told years ago from a Maori lady who was a practitioner that I had some angelic force around me, and I was going to be forced to hear them and work with them. And I said, I was young. I was about 25, and I thought I was real fascinated by her, but I didn't, the things that she was saying, I didn't really respect it. I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to have a gift to talk to angels at all. To be honest, all I've wanted to do is get my education. I've just had nothing but problems after problems after problems, like people, landlords, like jealous girlfriends trying to kill me, all sorts of stuff. I want to show you, I just took a photo of all these things and it's gone now. Well, for one thing, this is me. 7 years ago. I had my face ruined and nobody investigated it. In that time, I got gang raped and put underground in a toilet video of pissing. And I tried to do something about it and no one would help me. They're carrying it on like they're holding it over my head, like extreme blackmail. And then anything that I say about my life, they're holding it over my head with extreme blackmail. I talked about my exes in a vlog because I wanted my mum. The cops were making out that I was a prostitute and making a thorn in my side. So I sent a vlog to my mum and I said, all these men in my life have shown me love in some way. So all these men are in 21 men of walls hating on me. And I'm just saying I can't handle this push-pull power struggle anymore. It's my life. I should be allowed to have the freedom to express my life, but they seem to keep taking things off me like it's their rights to just come into my world without any boundaries and keep doing this. I mean, this will all end when enough of us say no. Mark Little got put in a treaty a very long time ago. I got sent. So that was racism. This shows I've been stalked, harassed, mutilated my shoes, damaging my property. That shows I was bullied by my mum, saying something about being bullied. What else? Oh, see, this little scorpion type thing was in my tent when I knew I was getting a vendetta. And 2 doves were outside my tent at the same time. So for me, when I see doves, it reminds me of my grandmother and grandfather. And I cried because when spirit comes down to speak to me, it's an emotional feeling and they touch you and they only come with like a loving feeling. So I just knew at that time these guys were cutting me out of peace and I didn't know how to articulate it because it's hard to express what's going on. Somebody has my identity. Jenny Lee Alum, I never had this name in my life. I don't have my identity. Somebody else has my identity and they're using it and making me get into trouble. You say that this isn't political. This is Snapchat trying to talk to my sister Jodie, and there's a poo that's come up. So do you think I'm being abused? My skills are great. My skills are good enough to run my own life, I didn't try to be the best in the world, but I'm pretty high I'm pretty up there. Like, I'm not like, I haven't been trained like with sophisticated people. These are hand skills that I've learnt in my life, and I'm not allowed to do it. The thing is these girls, they follow me and get influence off me. As I was making pastry from scratch, they've all been doing this influence, and all of a sudden I was watching Narita, she was making pastry from scratch, and I was like, why do they copy everything that I do? Like, and then act like I'm not a leader of my own life, that I'm a follower. But I wasn't. I can't find what I'm actually trying to show you. I just took a whole lot of photos. This is structural oppression. So see how the triangle usually goes like that for power. I'm trying to turn it like this, and you've got to hit the top of the power. So what happens is they start to create a power structure like influencing the culture, gender, disability, the freedom of religion, belief systems in the people, ethnicities, gender attitudes, and direct violence. And during this time, they want to take an inheritance. So they've been profiling me for 7 years of what I want in my life and assimilating a process with 7 Asians to do a character that was just like me, and they've stolen my legacy. They've created a mass groups of discrimination through a lot of criminal behaviour. The injustice is I felt like I had cancer, and I've had healthcare, and health insurance, and nobody did diagnostics. Discrimination of work, land disposition, land grabs, worship, clothes, fashion is usually a part of the structural racism, citizenship and identity, national identity. It's been ruined. They've just gone on a massive thing making me racially less quality than this girl, but it's discrimination. I've got all the same skills. It's just that my appearance went through a lot of violence, and I don't have a right to a fair trial. I'm being police profiled. I went through all this effort to get asylum. Yeah, this. No delusions, no access to help, needs support, low self-esteem from financial abuse, blocked resources, trafficking, exploitation, investigation. Habibi has been. First they erased our name. So that's what happened. I got my name crossed out. There's letters of discrimination here. But none of these organisations help me. They just write letters saying that I had structural oppression, but now nobody will help me. They're saying I'm a liar. This is a letter saying that I want plastic surgery because of my face and toxicity from heavy chemicals. And that was 2023. And in that time, all these women went and had major amount of surgery. So it's just a complete injustice and nightmare, because after that, they've thrown me into the public that I'm very fucking ugly, and I feel like I should get a right to sue their company, because the ethics of this is just horrible. Imagine that's my biggest wound, and they're exposing me to the world like, you're fucking ugly, and then taking away my rights to my own work. And here, I just need help with social workers. I'm sorry, we are not the right organisation for you. Oh, what does Red Cross do then? I just kept ringing and saying, I need help. My family are alienated. Sorry, we don't do that. So you can stop making me feel guilty and ask why these pretty girls are all operating in businesses that I do and are all getting away with blue murder. And I just said, I need emotional support. And I just said, I don't think our organisation is right for you, best of luck. And I said, why? And she said, because it doesn't fit with our services. And I said, I need a social worker. Try Citizens Advice. But I said, I need emotional support. And I'm not getting it. I asked Bronwyn, I said, can you help me with social worker? She said, I've written you a reference for housing. I can't do much else. I'm in a different area of Auckland. I said, yeah, but you said the people are being really, really nasty. And I said, I want you to help me to go to immigration and say this. And she says, immigration, and disrespects me with a whole lot of dog shit next to it. And I said, but I can't get housing. Okay, this isn't actually what I want to talk about, but this shows that I put a lot of time in. See these? You know, I'm having my mail stolen by dog, cam, pa. You know, they're persecuting me, this father. He's making me cheap quality next to his daughter, but I'm saying, why copy what I'm doing? He calls me dog, and he's in this is my private information of my doctor. It's called Dog Cam, PARR, Reuben and Risker. So it's very abusive, and right now I'm inhaling chemicals and plastics in my house to get rid of me, and it's environmental racism. I'm what's it called? I'm a graphic designer, a web designer. That's enough foundation for anybody. And I'm a counsellor, and I did a lot of volunteer Samaritan work. I just can't believe this is happening to me, and I put a lot of time and effort to be very responsible, and I think this needs to go back on putting heaps of money into political shaming me, into all this abuse of power with this $2 million dog shit pipeline, and not paying me back what I deserve. And also, the government just goes down and steals all of my friendships, makes a high table, and makes everybody hot. Puma hottest. Nadies. Shows Nadia's in my phone. Flyer whiz. Photo Puma. Polish. Falling beneath the cracks, can't manage her affairs. Top 5 human rights violations: denying services and information about health, the right to health, discriminating at work based on traits of race, gender, sexual orientation, the right to work, failing to provide maternity leave or protection and assistance to the family, not paying sufficient minimum wage, rights at work. And I wrote all this. This is only one page. I actually write 2 or 3 pages of all of my law breaches that I found out. Obstructing information, declaration under the Privacy Act, damages, failing to respond to information, a privacy request in accordance with Section 40, damages to injury to feelings, Section 88, interference of privacy by failing to investigate privacy requests, damages for humiliation, loss of dignity, injury to feelings. It doesn't matter. Reagan, yes, it's true. I believe that we were going to work weekly as building a chronology of harassment, bullying, and put-down culture and fraud problems in terms of tackling 3 girls at a time to find a house and a job, and I would connect you with social support. I also said I would get back to you regarding Jules. The reason I am talking to Jules is because we were looking for a house through work and income rather than any reasons. Unfortunately, I did not follow through. I've protested. It's just injustice. They make me uglier and uglier, so I've got no power to stand up for myself. And she's humiliated me, and they told me they gave my mother beta blockers and made me have a gender reassignment because my beliefs are about being a divine feminine. And they don't give me rights, so I've got extreme amount of abuse of power. This is human rights letters about work, about this fashion company.